Hi guys, how are you doing? And we're back with another video with butter makes everything better. So guys, today we are making some homemade or from scratch gumbo roux. Okay, my niece asked me to do this not because she doesn't know how to make gumbo roux, it's just that she just likes to see the consistency of how I do mine. Okay, and I like my gumbo a little bit darker than normal or than the average person. The first thing that you need to know about gumbo roux, if you're making it from scratch, please, that's a danger zone that you cannot walk away from your gumbo roux when you are making it, because what you're doing is you're cooking a substance that will burn. So let's get this video melting. First, you're going to need oil. I prefer canola oil. That's what I cook with in my house. And all-purpose flour. That's all you need. But y'all know how I get it rolling with my videos. I got to spice things up a little bit. So I season my roux, okay? So if you just want to use the oil and the flour, that's fine. But if you're going to do it like butter makes everything better, then you can do it like I do it, okay? So I'm going to add some minced garlic, some parsley, and that mighty old gumbo filet. Please, people, if your gumbo does not have filet in it, then it doesn't taste like gumbo. That's just to me. Some people are different, but I like to taste the filet in the gumbo. So let's get it going. So first thing you want to do is you want to do equal parts. You do whatever part flour, that's how much oil you do. Okay, you can do up to so many cups or half a cup, teaspoons, however you want to do it. Just depends on how much gumbo you're making. Today, I'm going to do the 1 cup flour, 1 cup oil, only because I have a big family. And when I do gumbo, my pot is like this big. So, and those of you that are gumbo lovers, you know what I'm talking about. And then we're going to take this gumbo roux, we're going to let it cool, and then I'm going to place it in the freezer, okay, for the next time. So when you get ready to scoop out your flour, always do your flour first, because if you don't, then you're going to have another measuring spoon or cup or whatever to do your oil, because then it's going to cause it to stick. So we want 1 cup of flour, so however you want to say it. And I was taught in cooking school, not university school, y'all, cooking school like in high school, y'all know, home ec, that you always dust off the top because flour settles. So you dust off, you scrape off the top to make sure you got a full amount of what you're looking for. So we're going to sprinkle this in here. Don't just dump it in there, guys. Don't just dump it in there. Now we're going to do our oil. We're going to do 1 cup oil, okay? Now here we go with this beautiful parsley, because I like to start my seasoning in my gumbo, in the roux of the gumbo, because what it does is that once you get ready to add your liquid to it, whether it's chicken stock, beef stock, or just plain old water, you already got some seasoning going on there. Okay, let's go ahead and get this going around in here. And start your fire off on medium high. Okay, you can always use a non-stick pan. I prefer a non-stick pan or a good old-fashioned metal pan. If you have a metal pan that you've been using for a long time, then it's well seasoned, so you don't have to worry about anything sticking to it. So right now, this looks like some Alfredo sauce with some basil in it. But that's going to all change momentarily. Now, I started out with a wooden spoon, and that was to get all the stuff from the bottom going. Okay, now I'm going to add my garlic, which I normally use 1 teaspoon, and I'm going to continue to stir. Once I get all of my ingredients incorporated in here, now that's our gumbo filet. And you can put As much as you would like to put is at your own discretion. Okay, now once we get this to going, guys, now we can't stop. So tell all the kiddos, spouses, turn your phones down, however you want to do it. Tell them, hey, I can't be bothered right now. If y'all want this gumbo to turn out right, I got to get my roux going. So now what we're doing is we're cooking the flour. If you notice that you need a little bit more oil, you're more than welcome to add more oil. Because what you don't want is for your flour to burn. Because if your flour burns, you got to start all over again. And those out in gumbo land, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You got to start all over again. So we're going to just keep on stirring this up. Once it begins to look liquefied, then you can kind of turn the fire up so you can continue the cooking process. And sometimes this can take up to 30 minutes, depending on the range surface that you're cooking on. I know you guys probably saying, she always got something in the background. If it ain't the bread, it's the candle and all of that. I'm a mom, guys. I'm a mom, a wife, and I cook. So eventually I will have a better workspace. But right now we're just going to use what we got. And y'all hear that? That's that wire whisk. I would not suggest using a rubber whisk for this because of the simple fact that with a rubber whisk, you have to constantly stir this over heat. And a rubber whisk will only, I feel, will begin to melt, okay? And you don't want rubber inside of your gumbo. You don't want to make anyone sick either, okay? My niece fixed gumbo, I think last weekend, or earlier this week, this past week. And she had sent me a text message with a picture of her roux. And this is like the second time she's done that. And she's like, Aunt Brandy, is this dark enough? And so by the time I saw the text, she was already done with the gumbo. So when I talked to her, she said, I need for you to make a video on Gumbo Roux. She said, because that way I won't have to keep texting you and then you're getting back too late with a response and then my gumbo's already ready. Now, the one thing about Gumbo Roux is that it gets hot. Very, 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 very hot. That's if you're making it from scratch. I prefer from scratch because I've tried the store-bought Gumbo Roux, and it's okay. Don't get me wrong. It's okay for those who like their taste. But I'm glad I just made like a small pot of like chicken and sausage gumbo and not put all my lovable and wonderful seafood in there because I probably would have been upset. But for some reason, the ones in the store, they tend to taste like flour. I was told that if you dilute them, then you'll get a better outcome. But why do all of that if I gotta bring it home from the store and try to change it when I could just make it at home? Okay. Now we're looking like some Coco Chanel now. Woo-hoo. We are starting to. We got this little tan color going on. This is why it's very important that you don't walk away from it, because once you crank that heat up, that's it. You gotta continue stirring. I tried to make gumbo roux one time before when I first started doing it, and after you do it so many times, you kind of wean out the things that you should have did and shouldn't have did and things like that. But before I kind of mastered how I should do it, I started stirring my gumbo on low heat and stuff like that. And whew, y'all, when I tell you it took me forever and ever and ever to get that gumbo roux to brown. Now it's beginning to thicken up, so I'm going to add just a little bit more oil, because like I said, making a roux for gumbo is nothing but cooking flour that's mixed with oil. That's all it's doing. Now guys, you can also add your minced garlic after you get it to the consistency that you want it. And that's with the thickness and the color. Now I'm going to try to do something. Don't y'all laugh, okay? But I'm going to try to kind of show y'all what some levels of the gumbo roux that people like. I'm going to try without stopping. But you see that color? Can y'all see that? Some people like that color, okay? I like mine a little bit darker than that. This is kind of like a milk chocolate color right now. I like for mine to be a tad bit darker. What they say, the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. Y'all, this heat got me hot. Woo! Okay, so it's still continuing to thicken. We're going to add a little bit more oil. Y'all, when I tell you it's hot standing over this stove doing this here, make sure your AC is on when you do it. Now, some people don't like a roux at all in their gumbo. They just make a seafood, I guess you can say soup, somewhat, I guess, because they just want the taste of, like, you know, more of a liquidy, especially if you got a cold, okay? So I understand that. Not everybody likes a roux in the gumbo. Oh, he's getting darker now, guys. Now, if I was going to begin my gumbo after this roux was done, I would set this aside and begin building my gumbo. There's so much that people put in gumbo nowadays. I'm just used to chicken, shrimp, sausage, and that mighty old crab. But if you're just making this on a cold day, then if you got some chicken breast and some sausage, you can make your chicken and sausage gumbo. Now, when I get ready to make my gumbo, after I do this, this is the first step of the hardest part. This is the first step of the hardest part. Is the gumbo. See, y'all, I just popped myself and now my phone's ringing. Y'all see that? Crazy. But that's because with the issue that's going on with the schools and stuff and the COVID. But my next to the last hardest step is frying my okra. Some people put okra in their gumbo, some people don't, but I do. Not only is it like traditional, but it adds a good color of green, a good color of zest, you know. So, because with all the browns going on and stuff like that, only color you got in there is like the orange or the pink that's from the crabs and from the shrimp. So, and if you want to know how to take the slime out of okra, all you need is about 2 capfuls of white distilled vinegar, a non-stick skillet, and oil. And you put your okra in there and you just keep turning it, keep frying it in that oil. And you're going to see that oil and the combination of that vinegar is going to begin to pull that slime out of the okra. The worst thing I hate, guys, is to somebody cook some okra and I see it and it is slimy. That is horrible to me. So if you don't know how to take it out of there and you don't like the slime, then don't put okra in your gumbo because it's going to roll. Y'all, this is taking by this already 17 minutes, y'all. Woo. Boy, when I tell y'all it's got me hot like I ain't got no air conditioning here. But like I said, you can't walk away from it. You cannot walk away from it because once it burns, you got to start all over again. I'm hot, y'all. And besides that, look, I'm doing 2 things at one time. So how's everybody doing with the COVID situation and what's going on with that? Everybody okay? Are your families okay? Are you checking in with everyone and keeping up with your peeps? I really hope that my inspiration key days, the inspiring to inspire, videos, I hope they're helping somebody. Okay? I really pray that they do. I always I ask God, what should I say to everybody before I even get started? So I really pray that you guys be receptive. And I pray that I never do anything to hurt anyone's feelings or say anything to hurt anyone's feelings because I am a child of God. And I try to keep it as Christian-like, family-like, fun-like as possible. I don't ever want to be ugly to anyone or cause anyone to have a dislike for me, somebody you don't even know. Oh, y'all, now we got this, we got this milk chocolate going on here. When I tell you, this is going to make the richest gumbo ever. We're almost at the 20-minute mark, guys. That's normally where I go, about 20, 25 minutes. Like I said, if you don't have the patience to do this, it's understandable. Just go to the store, get you some good roux. Ask somebody what they suggest for a good store-bought roux. You know, if you don't want to go through this, you don't want to take the time to do this, because this is the longest part. And then getting that slime out of the okra is the next. Once you get that down, then everything else is pretty much quick, you know, unless you like me or my sister Patricia, who likes to saute our sausage before we even put that in there. And you can't forget what they call it, the Holy Trinity, the bell pepper, onion, and celery. Now, some people just cut theirs up and just put it in there. No, I dice mine up. And of course, butter makes everything better. Saute it in some butter. That adds another amount of richness to your gumbo. Oh my goodness, y'all. We almost at that 25-minute mark. Excuse me, my head is itching. I'm sorry, but my hair is pulled back. See, now we can start kind of turning it down. I hope you guys enjoy the video today, and I hope this helps somebody who ever wanted to make their own roux. I'm not the best cook in the world, but I ain't the worst either. And a lot of stuff, I just like to share how I do things. And sometimes the simplicity of it. There are a lot of more roux recipes out there. You can always Google it. But this is just Brandy Harris's Gumbo Roux. And you can, like I said, you can even wait until the end to add your garlic. And it may be better because if you have your fire turned up too high, it'll burn. The garlic will begin to burn before you even much start cooking the flour. Y'all, this is beautiful. We got 3 more minutes. 3 more minutes. Can she do it? Can she last 3 more minutes? Oh my goodness, it's like a sauna standing over the stove. Y'all, that's because I have a gas stove. And that's another thing. If you have a gas stove, your heat is much different than someone with an electric stove. So that's something else you have to consider as well. With a gas stove, you can kind of play with your heat. With an electric stove, you have to be very careful because you don't really know what the heat consistency is on those. But baby, standing over this fire, woo! Look at me, y'all. Look at me, y'all. I am sweating like crazy. But I'm back away from it, so you don't have to. It's not gonna drop in there. And besides, this gumbo roux is going into the freezer anyway once it cools. And please, guys, for safety matters, I know we love our babies and we love our kiddos, and even my little helper Royal. I even told her when she knows that when I'm making gumbo roux, she's not allowed in the kitchen, okay? Because this flour gets very hot. So you don't want them to help you to make this, okay? Because it's the consistency of being over open flames and heat. And the worst thing you could do to yourself, not only to your child, is for them to accidentally get burned with this. Because not only is this roux hot, the pan that you're cooking in is very hot as well. So you want to always be safe, okay? Y'all, this roux is beautiful. When I say this is beautiful, this is beautiful. This is gorgeous. Oh, yeah. This is gorgeous. This is what I'm looking for. Yes, I'm going into my, because I'm going to scoop you guys some out so you can see it. Woo! We almost there, y'all. Thank you, Jesus. I didn't think we was going to ever get there. We are almost there. So we can begin to turn this off and let it kind of just marinate for a minute. I've stopped stirring because I'm done. But y'all, I'm telling y'all, you cannot stop stirring this because that flour will settle and it will burn. Cannot walk away from it. That's another thing that's great about a gas stove versus an electric stove. When you turn it off, it's done. But with an electric stove, can't do that because it doesn't just go right off. It makes that, it's slowly turning off. So you got to be careful. Y'all, when I tell you this looks like some for real dark milk chocolate, this looks amazing. So I'm going to do a glass bowl so you can see kind of like the consistency. I got to be careful, y'all, because I'm talking about y'all. This is hot. I'm going to try to put enough in here where you can see it. And I tell you, it's going to lighten up some because you're probably saying, oh, that's real dark. And like I said, you can stop at whatever level of color you're looking for. You can always stop. This is just how I like my gumbo roux because it's going to lighten up some anyway once you begin to add your water. And y'all, please know you have to add water to this if you don't know. But it's gonna lighten up some anyway once you add the water, and then to begin to add your seafood. So it's gonna be dark, but the darker the roux, the closer you are to the color you're looking for. Okay, that's the color of my gumbo roux. Can y'all see that? Y'all see that? I'm gonna try to see if I can. There we go. That's real dark. That's what I like. Y'all can see that now? Let me see. Remember, this was the other one. Some of y'all can stop stirring right there if you want it right there. Let me show you the layers. This is kind of like, that's when we first started, right there. Right in there. You see it? When we first started, it was just light. And then right in here, that was when I told you it kind of looked like Alfredo sauce with basil in it. And then that was the kind of like the milk chocolate. Look, if I turn it that way, you can see it. Okay? You can stop at that color if that's what you want. Now, this is the level that I like my gumbo roux. Hold on, y'all. We don't want this. I don't want this to burn me. Now y'all can see. Uh-oh. Let me see. There we go. Look at that. That's the color that I like for my gumbo roux to look like. Now I'm going to turn my spoon. Can y'all see it now? There we go. That's the color I like. So once I begin to add my water, it's going to lighten up just a little bit more. And then as I add my seafood, it's going to lighten up a little bit more. And then it's going to be the actual color that I'm searching for. But that's the color of my roux. Because like I said, once you add the water, then it's going to change into a different color. So I can kind of give y'all an example of what I mean by that. Let me show you what I'm talking about. And please, that's hot. So if you're going straight into making gumbo, use hot water. Don't add cold water to it. Okay? So I'm going to show y'all what I'm talking about. Y'all, we had good church today. Even though we were online and we were on the phone, we had very good church today. And I tell you, it was amazing. Our pastor is always on point. She's always on point. The word of God came from Psalms 107 today, and it was talking about it's in your cry. And that means because of what we're going through right now, everything that we're facing right now, it's in our cry. It's in what we need to do to make it through this. So guys, what we're going to do is I'm going to take this and add the water. I'm going to go ahead and add this water to, we're going to go ahead and just add the water to our roux. That's for some reason. Y'all see it begins to cool it down. Y'all, it smells like gumbo already. And that's because I put that filet. I put the filet in my roux. So I can already smell. When I tell you I can already smell the essence of gumbo, baby, that filet is a beast. Now, somebody told me when you go to a lot of the restaurants, when you, I guess it might be like 5-star restaurants, I guess, and they serve gumbo or whatnot, whatever. They don't put the filet in their gumbo. They bring it to you to the table. So I guess to each his own. So now I'm going to show y'all how the color changed. But it's the color I want my gumbo because of how dark I made my roux. It goes hand in hand. Okay. So let me show you guys. This time we're going to okay. So we're going to show you guys. Woo-hoo. Yada, 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 yada. All right. So I'm going to show you guys. Oh, this is beautiful. Woo-hoo. Yes, baby. This is beautiful. Shoot, all we missing is our Holy Trinity. And y'all know the Holy Trinity is one for the Father, one for the Son, and one for the Holy Ghost. But the Holy Trinity for the gumbo is green, bell peppers, celery, and onion. They call it the Holy Trinity, I guess, because it make it holy gumbo. But guess what, y'all? Here we go. Look. Look at that color. See the difference? When you add water, it changes and it lightens up. Can y'all see it? It lightens up a lot. So that's why I say, and the more water you add, the lighter that roux is going to get. Okay? But if you want your gumbo dark, like I like mine, see, now y'all can see it. If you want your gumbo dark, then you got to continue to stir that roux. But anyway, guys, I'm going to let y'all get out of here because we've been on here for 34 minutes. So I did an extra 10 minutes just to show y'all what I mean by how if you add the water, it's going to lighten the roux and it's going to lighten the color of your gumbo. But the darker the roux, the consistency of the water will give you the color that you're looking for in your gumbo. So With that all being said, I love you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, subscribe, share, comment, say some stuff to me, talk to me. You know, my email address, rbtogether01@yahoo.com. That is the letter R, the letter B, the word together, TOGETHER01@yahoo.com. Remember, if you add some butter to it, it always makes it better. Bye for now. You guys are awesome. Yes. Whew. LJ. Oh, Lord. LJ. Jay. Come here, boy. Come load this up. You can take it back to the, you can just load it up right there and then.
How long was it?
Huh?
How long was it?
30 minutes. It's just straight through.